Welcome back. WeArEuS, and I have a question. Am I looking forward or am I looking up? Am I looking down or am I looking off to the side? The information is there, you just have to know how to process it. Though, given that I know the answer, maybe it just seems like the information is there if you were to think about it. It also occurred to me as I was loading the game, maybe there is a recipe for the Druid's tonic back in the DLC area. If I had to guess, it would be somewhere not in the area where the so-called angel was, but in the abbey above it, perhaps? Because there aren't that many places to go on the map. I just wouldn't dare imagine that they would not give you the recipe for something like that. Because as it stands, there are only 3 recipes that use spores? I think the herbal tea doesn't even use spores. It uses infected honeycombs. Which you can't make, by the way. As far as I'm aware. Anyway, we currently find ourselves still in the castle, staring at what could be a wall, a floor, or the ceiling. Now, if you remember at the end of last episode, I said we would probably be in the new area, just be somewhere else doing something else, if I couldn't find the key to that keyhole near the fireplace. So, 2 things. I realized something while I was looking for the key. I know this is very enthralling stuff to look at, but bear with me. I realized something while I was looking for the key. I went all the way back to the underground ruins underneath the castle. I even jumped in the hole where the one woman was throwing the atomic batteries into. I jumped in there only once, just to make sure. I also jumped in the hole that's on the way here, up here, into the castle. It looks like there's something down there, but maybe it's just textured in case you decide to jump down there. So, that brings me to my main point, which is I realized what the key would do if I were to find it. I'm pretty sure it's going to open up access directly to the hole I jumped into. I didn't jump into it during the last video, but you'll get it when we get there, because I'm like 80% certain that if I were to find the key, I know where it's going to take me, or I know what the passage it opens up is going to grant access to. Oh, by the way, I found the key. So, you remember last episode, assuming you were here, I came through here, noticed all of the food, and I went on a very small tangent about how I am just chock full of all manner of consumables. That reminds me, now that I look at her book, I am reminded that we need to go to the old mine that was indicated by it. Anyway, I went on a whole thing about how that's the thing, how I have enough healing items and I'm I can't carry any more food. I'm full on health. So I didn't even look at any of this. And when I came, and I did come back through here, remember, I came back through here at least, not counting after the video was done, I came through here at least twice and passed this key. Granted, I was running, and I had assumed that there would just be stuff like the tankard and more food, so any flashing I would have noticed immediately would have been disregarded. Now it's just to remember... Oh, look, we found it. And voila. It was actually really obvious what it would do. And I didn't, of course I wouldn't have known the first time we encountered this. But the second time, after I started looking for the key, I knew where it would go if I were to find it. Just seeing this shape, I immediately knew what I was looking at. And so I lost all actual motivation to keep looking for the key. I did it anyway, and I ultimately found it, and honestly, I wish I hadn't. Because having to explain to you guys that I walked past that thing at least twice that you saw, and probably once more before I actually stopped and just looked at everything. That is not embarrassing. Anyway, we are done with this place. We now have to head over to the old mine. I don't see any new markers on this area, so it's not right. Mother Jago has to be here. And there's no way she would have an old mine, mapped out. That is all the way up there, too. And it's not even, it doesn't even have the exclamation mark on it, so we've been there. Also, I have no idea where Mother Jago is. I, in my infinite wisdom, forgot to mark her on the map. Is this her? That could be anything, honestly. Is there a marker that could be used for... I mean, maybe this could be used for NPCs? Anyway, I'm going to head up here to the old mine. And we'll see if there's something I missed there. Because we've obviously been in there. Well, we'll see what happens when we see what happens. Right, so I forgot that I even had found the Castle Grounds hut key. I don't remember when I got it. I know it was last video. I don't remember whether the person that had it was already alive or was already dead, or if I made them that way. Did I get it above ground or in the castle ruins? I really don't remember. for the most part, it really just doesn't matter. Oh, see, and then I pick up the training chemicals. No, not training chemicals. The training stimulant. And I remember what happened with the last school, and then I look down, I'm remembering, and I'm hating it. I find myself upset, and I don't want to be this way. Well, we're done here, and I apologize for interrupting your teleport into the future, but well, I didn't intend to find this place, but I found it, and maybe I'll be able to spend some skill points on something that will actually matter. I'm finding myself more upset the more I think about it. We should go. Yeah, so this is where the mine is. I remember that with that being closed there, there's another entrance up here. I was wrong. Isn't there a hatch here somewhere? I know it's probably across here. You know, I've kicked a lot of people off of ledges today. Shame you guys missed it. Maybe you shouldn't be teleporting through time. So can we finally do something here? We can put stuff away as well. One of these, keep one of these, send you on your way. Keep this guy because why not, I guess. There. We now have 4 extra spaces. I hate running around with a full inventory. Was this always available? Curious to see where this lets us out. Okay, yeah, I remember this as well. Don't mind the corpses over there. They were definitely here when I got here. You believe that, right? Definitely. Isn't that where we saw Nessie? Or something approaching Ness? The Loch Ness Monster? Okay, so the old mine seems to have been a bit of a bust. Map of Castle Woods, directions to a place called the Old Mine. There was nothing of note in the Old Mine. And I don't care that Mother Jago's a pseudo-druid voicing the soil crazy because she hasn't done anything to me. Not yet. And if that were to change, so would her condition from concerning living. I don't... Wait. Isn't she literally right over here? she's literally right here, and I thought it was going to be difficult to find her. But why would the old mine be a point of note? Maybe it's just in case you end up at the castle and you raid them and find the book, it brings you over here to the person it belongs to. Like I said, there wasn't anything incriminating that would cost her her life, so guess she can have her book back.
Pleasure to see you again, dear.
What do you have, by the way? Nothing of note. Got it. I didn't have anything to trade anyway.
Well, I'll be honest. You ask anyone to help you around here, and the chances of ever seeing them alive again are not wonderful.
I get that.
Very pleased you're an exception, dear.
I doubt that. Now, you said they stole it from you, but I found a note, and it says you're a liar.
My goodness. Those eyes of yours are sharp, eh, dear? I just hope the mind behind them isn't too narrow. I merely said the druids took it from me and that I wanted you to get it back. There's always more to what people tell you, dear.
See...
Please, take this, a token of my gratitude. It's a sort of learning juice made by the scientists. You can sometimes find it in their old bunkers. Not much good came of those boffins and their science, but this stuff is marvelous. It opens the mind, you see. Of course, a fair trading compensation is one thing I can offer. But listen, what is it you need?
Don't do it.
Truly need?
Don't.
Perhaps an escape from all this suffering?
See, honestly, I don't trust anyone. I'm sure half of the people that are offering you an escape from this place are just going to kill you once you've done for them what they need, and then they'll go on about their life. I'm not okay with that. And so I don't trust anyone. Especially Mother Jacob. I can't quite tell you why. Maybe it's that she has bones on her hat amidst flowers, and is pretending it's a perfectly normal thing. That said, this might open up a quest line that leads to other places that I otherwise might not know about. I don't think I've quick-saved in a while. In fact, I don't think I've quick-saved... Nope, I quick-saved once. Yep, and that was a long time ago.
It is indeed something within my power. But the first step toward escape is understanding. Look... You and I may have more in common than you realize. If you'll trust me, I can send you somewhere where you might find some answers. Something more than I alone can offer. Take this and go to the Speaking Cave. I'll show you where to find it on your map. While you have this, the folk in the woods will let you pass. But only as long as you don't offer violence. There is no need for bloodshed. Leave the offering at the foot of the figure you'll find there. You'll know it when you see it, believe me.
Now, let me preface what we're about to do by saying this. The road to death is a slippery slope. And I'm the man who pushes. That said, I'm going to take this opportunity because I mentioned it a long time ago in another video, but there are apparently secret weapons And the more places I go, the greater my odds of encountering them. Whatever.
Wonderful. I can see my feeling about you was right. Do as I tell you, and if you are prepared to see, then you'll understand that much more clearly.
By the way, there's also, we're also still missing, I think, 2 sets of skills? I'll have to check. So, oh, there was a bow skill book outside of the castle, like directly to the right of the door if you're facing it, the entrance to it. Not the ruins, but the actual castle itself. Probably not immediately to its right, but it's along the right side of it. There are some arrows in a wooden box, maybe I don't know. But it's got arrows next to it, so it's pretty easy to see.
Take care, won't you?
Don't. I don't know you like that. You can't just walk into kissing range like that. So, we were going to go back to the interchange and see to it that 2 living people stopped being living. But now we have this foot of the figure in the speaking cave in the Casterfell woods. Now I need to figure out. Imagine how mad these guys are going to be. I have walked through their entire group swinging a stick, and honestly, no one's ever lived to tell the tale, so it would make sense for them to be upset in the first place. Nevertheless, where is it? Camp? Ruins? I don't see anything about a speaking cave on this map. And this is definitely Casterfell Woods. Am I just not seeing it? Because there is no marker on this map indicating the speaking cave. Is it going to be near here? Yeah. Oh. Okay. That's why I was already there. Oh, that sucks. But everyone between me and there should be dead already, so... Now that we've arrived... Is it supposed to be at the foot of this thing? Also, everyone on the way here was still hostile, so... Mine? Is it supposed to be this stupid thing? Or... Wait, I should hard save just in case this turns me into a soil-loving lunatic. And I don't need any of this. I've been here, cleared this place. Anything I want? Hey there, bud. Well, if I... See, they'd have a problem with it if I were to leave a corpse. But if I were...
Your intentions are unclear.
But see, if I were high on infection, and I had that one skill, I could just turn them into alien flora, and people would just go, ooh, and keep walking. Anyway, I don't have that many ways to get infected, so I'm just not going to bother with that. Now, if you could store just a butt ton of spores, it's probably this thing, right? It's this thing. She should know our gratitude. We owe a great deal to the herbalist Mother Jago. Her tonics allow us to walk close to the soil and hear its voice. I will kill you all if you don't shut up. And hear its voice without our bodies being broken by its brilliance. We must bring offerings to her and become recompense. Any food we can spare or fresh tools for her garden, bring them to her home in the old mine nearby. She should know our gratitude. Yeah, so it's just pointing out. Oh, it's convenient.
You have come to us. It was inevitable. Your place is with us.
You know, I'm suddenly reminded by the very first person we ever met in the game. A guy. Dying, obviously. Can't have him living. Or he was hunched over like he was injured, but I didn't see any notable signs of injury like the leaking internal fluids or anything. Regardless, the most important part about him was the fact that he made it very clear we should not listen to the voices. Under no circumstances should the voices be listened to. I thought at first, because it was the very first thing we came across, that the voice from the phone in the phone booth was the voice it was talking about, what he was talking about. I've since realized that is not the case. And I must now reconsider.
You are troubling.
And I must now reconsider since these voices are the ones we aren't to trust, what then should we do about the one on the phone? And make no mistake, I don't trust any of them, no matter what. But at least the voice on the phone is saying to destroy Oberon, which is key to the problems this entire zone is now facing. So it seems like a logical thing, but if you don't trust that voice, then what do you do? If it's telling you to destroy the source of the problem. And Oberon appears to be conscious, given that the piece that broke off of it in the DLC was conscious. Wait, isn't this voice basically the exact same as the collection of monks in the DLC? Which would effectively make this voice Oberon. And there's like a 60% chance that the voice on the phone is not Oberon telling you to kill it. And I say 60% because there's a very high chance that it's Oberon telling you to kill it with the simple intention of getting you to open the path to it and just give it access to the outside world in one way or another. As it stands, it's probably isolated wherever they have it stored, and it can't reach anyone or anything aside from spreading this flora around, which I can't. Well, you can see it right up there. Anyway, that was a whole tangent and a half that I just explored. Welcome to the way I play games. You're dead. Everything here is dead. And should I be given cause, everyone here will join you in being dead. How exactly can you talk? He asked, already knowing, but curious to see whether and how it would lie.
We are not dead. There is no death. Death is an old thought, and its time is done. Rich man and poor man, buried in the ground, feeding the earth with their flesh and bones. Nature is all, and we are all nature. We join the voice that lies in the soil as it eats our flesh and bones. This is the ecstasy and the everlife. The voice shall not ever dim, as long as the sun rises and the rain falls, and we speak through the voice. We are in bliss. All else is lies and ignorance. Mother Jacob is close to us and grows closer. Follow her words. Heed her wisdom.
So I can already see where this path is going. Escape is not escape. It is subservience to a voice that will never let you go. You can die, make no mistake about that. It lies about that. I've killed plenty of these people. Sure, they may have joined it, but they are no longer them. They are it now. And I don't trust it. I won't help it. I don't like it. But I'm going to click I will, just to see what happens.
Go there, and you will be lost no longer. Find the purpose.
So now we have to go back and talk
Know you.
to Mother Jago, I guess.
We don't know you.
I'm just guessing where I'm going, by the way. I don't have this area memorized, at least not anymore. It's no longer relevant. It's no longer relevant to me, as I've done everything here that needs doing, seen all that needs seeing. And honestly, I would have destroyed this place if it was an option.
Clear the channel, please. There's a lot of overlap.
What the actual frick? I was expecting to have to go look for her, so I was already in boring travel mode. And then I see this lady here already.
You are closer to understanding now, my dear. Come, let us talk.
I'm going to say this. Okay, I'll accept that her book was just showing me the way to her, presuming I just didn't interact with her first and ended up at the castle before ever coming across her. Which is weird because where she's located is off on a corner of the map, and that's fine. But the entire point of entertaining her nonsense and letting her live was getting to go to places I haven't been before. And you aren't living up to your side of the bargain. Tread carefully.
Well, how do you feel?
Did you know they would try to brainwash me as you are trying to do? Obviously.
Why wouldn't they? Nobody likes to see ignorance in the world, do they?
See, you can't.
Now, are you willing to let yourself understand, my dear? What has happened, what is happening here is no disaster. It's the salvation of us all.
See.
A happy accident wrought by the meddling of those foolish scientists. That much must be clear, surely.
See, I was willing to let her live because she didn't pose much of a threat. She just seemed to be working with the druids and helping them in their ultimately meaningless nonsense. But if she's actively recruiting passers-by, people that are hopeless, they don't really have anything to look forward to because they are stuck here for basically what is going to be forever. She cannot be allowed to live. By the way, you told me you would offer me an escape from this place, and that's all I wanted. I still want to be in my right mind when I do. Given that, despite the fact that I've killed hundreds of people since waking up.
If it's an escape you're after, let it be from the troubles we make for ourselves.
See?
Listen, separateness, you and I, life and death. It is all an illusion. Hard to let go of, my dear, but an illusion all the same. Why not give it up and live in eternal bliss? Look around yourself, dear. Folks steal, they oppress, they kill. It is for the betterment of themselves that they made their heathen technology and severed our bonds with the land. That is why we must give it all up as sacrifice. Their machines, their minds, all that they ever were, all to repair those bonds. The earth gave us life and the strength which lives in us. It is our joyful duty to return it all to the soil. The land needs must breathe, and so we breathe our Mayflower lives back into it. That is our purpose. Join us. The earth welcomes those who go willingly. It is the only true path out there. Are you ready to see where it leads?
Honestly, I can see how stupid people would fall for stuff like this. Because if you don't think critically, it sounds great on its face. But then you realize it claims there is no death. And then, at the very same time, the people serving it talk so happily about dying to join it. But if you lose yourself, you died. So there is death even if the concept it was offering were actually true. Now, I am entertaining an interesting thought where this entire voice in the soil thing is entirely separate from Oberon and is, let's say, a byproduct of the alien flora flourishing beneath the, well, for lack of a better term, soil. And it's doing alien things in an alien environment, so it could be separate from Oberon, and Oberon could actually want no part of this. I'm waiting until I actually get to Oberon before I make my final decision on its continued existence, but I am leaning hard into Exterminatus. Anyway, as far as this is concerned, let's see what she has for us next. If the next thing she offers does not take us to somewhere new, a location I have not seen, a character I have not talked to, she gets to join the soil.
Very good. Then there's one more little thing for you to do.
Isn't there
There's
always?
a divine thing under that atom plant. Something the scientists found buried in the soil. They called it Oberon. The military and their fondness for code names. But it is so much more. And it needs to be fed. We can help it grow and heal the damage that science has done.
See.
The Boffins had a hiding place for their work. Perhaps you are familiar with it already. They called it the Interchange. It's been dozing there for 5 years. The voice speaks of it often. Reawaken the Interchange, and you will open the way to Oberon.
See, and then there goes my theory about this thing being separate from Oberon. It is basically a byproduct of it, but not entirely divorced from it. So you want me to go to the wind scale plant?
My dear, you must have known your journey would lead you there one way or another. Listen, Windscale awaits you, but first there is something we need. A scientist came to me soon after the disaster, trapped here and still alive, but he was done for, fading slowly, poor mite. He told me of a secret, that in their laboratories they'd found some stuff, a serum, he called it, that could make the new growth spread like fire. That serum is what we're after. And now you are here to find it for us.
There's no way she knows what this... Well, maybe she does know what the serum is, but does that really matter? We know what it does. We don't need a name for it. So where do I find it?
Wonderful. Truly wonderful. I knew you had pluck.
Never say
The
that to me.
scientist worked in the medical laboratory, something like an underground hospital, the way he described it. He told me that there were tunnels beneath it, where they loaded goods onto their trains. That's where the serum was stashed. Find the serum, and the way forward will become clear for you.
So I realize I could just use them to open another way to Oberon, but the risk of ending up being insane like them is considerable. I also don't know if she's going to stay here or go back to her camp. Let me make sure I mark them both. With maybe not a... God dang it, that's hard to actually see. We'll go mission critical there and over here. just to make sure. So, I am tempted to utterly eradicate this woman right now. But I don't know if that would affect the access to the serum. Then again, she hasn't actually given me anything other than information that leads there, which is not particularly useful, considering I was going there anyway for sample 1 that Dr. Holden wanted. And the last thing I want to do is give a blue man whatever the frick sample 1 is. But hey, at the very least, Holden did give me the serum that granted resistance to infection. The only reason she's still breathing, aside from my vain hope that dealing with her druid side quest ending would basically lead to extra places that might have interesting loot, or at the very least were places I hadn't been. She's not living up to my expectations, and given what she does, I really can't abide by her continued existence. That said, I know where she is. I know where she lives. There's nowhere for her to hide from me. For now, we do need to go back to the interchange and talk to Yarrow and... what's her mug? Joyce Tanner. She of the thinly veiled threat. So... I'm just going to run in this direction, and then we will resume while I'm running in the seemingly same direction, but I'm going to be somewhere else.
Not the bold one. Coming back here. I thought we had an understanding. When the system notified me of a data transfer at the Casterfell Dam, I could hardly believe how foolish you'd been. You don't seem to realize how important it is these secrets remain secrets. You should leave before the system stops you ever doing anything ever again. Don't even think about trying to come back to the central processor either. You are not welcome here.
Well, Dr. Garrow's now my enemy. I'd be met by death if I tried to return to the central processor at the interchange. I'm curious to see if this is just a colloquial term or if it's, oh crap. I'm not interested in dealing with the Blue Man Group. Where is it? Oh, it's in here. How about you, Downbed? At least not until I meet you. Main reception. That up. That's a boom plant. What am I looking for? Right. let's see if she was fibbing. I would imagine if it were to happen, it would be here. Hey there, bud. You guys saw that. She tried to draw down on me. Letter to Dr. Garrow. Further to our meeting of the 12th instance, I wish to inform you that the Ethics Committee will not be considering your case any further, as you shouldn't. She is clearly, demonstrably, was clearly and demonstrably unethical. You should not regard this as the equivalent of a verdict of not guilty. However, a cloud of opprobrium hangs over your career to date, and you would be foolish to forget how small a world that of scientific academia is. Please look to your character in the future. He was right, you know. Oh, don't be blue. Right, so we are not quite done here yet. Where is the other one? I don't actually remember where Tanner is. Check the map. Joyce Tanner. You know, I feel a little guilty about killing, whatever her name was, like that. It was too fast, but I cannot be bothered to reload and do it again. I just don't find her that important. Joyce Tanner. Data store Charlie. It is accessed through here. I mean, she really thought a shiv would be enough for a man armed to the teeth. Dick and balls, by the way. Oh, because I have the gun out, right? Everyone hates the gun. What about the stick? How does the stick? He's that way, but a lot of them. I need to go to the medical wing anyway. You know, I didn't care for him, given that he was Russian and had no real business being here. He was trying to steal secrets, of course, as you do. Really not comfortable being on top of this.
I'm judging by our lovely Dr. Garrow's reaction that you retrieved the data tape?
Oh, I definitely did. Did I save after? It's fine. I saved before killing Garrow. Having the pleasure of doing it again is just a bonus at this point. Can we look at what's on it?
Without proper analysis, it's all gobbledygook. But that can wait for when we're out of here. More pressing matters than that at the moment.
You know, she really didn't want this data taken from the site. Granted. I don't know what the data actually encompasses, so I can't really speak to why she wouldn't want it taken. And I don't remember what she was yapping about when she told me to go there to erase the stuff. And I can't be bothered to go back and try to find the video where she was talking about it. That would have been more than 5 episodes ago. I'm not doing that. You have fleas or something? Stop scratching. Anyway, let's see what she has to say about this.
Well then, doesn't that just prove how important this information is? I always knew she wasn't to be trusted. Well, suspected it. Now, the tape?
No.
Well, all right. I'll wait. Don't do anything foolish.
Like?
Hey! Don't do that!
I don't have anything to kick her off of. Well, we could kick her towards the steps. That'd do. Yeah, I like that option. We'll beat her like a slinky. That's taking too long. Yeah, she died. Mysterious causes, I'm sure. Let's see what her log has to say. Convoy 5 ambushed, likely only remaining survivor. Supplies left the train shed in Slattendale for Dagonet and others. Have to rely on them to track down our fallen comrades. My hands are full trying to get any intelligence from barred facilities. Place is sealed tight. Zone is deadly. Narrowly avoided sticky situation while out surveying the radio infrastructure. Let's get a signal out. They'll be waiting for it. I'm pretty sure she was with the army. Or whatever its equivalent is in this game. Alright, where to next? We need to go... Okay. I was going to... Yeah, this way. I was going to just drop the notes, but there are two issues with that. One, I mean, sure, nobody's ever going to actually find the notes, but okay. To give it an end, just to keep playing along with the RP we have going here, such that it is. I'm going to stick this into the pneumatic tube where no one will ever be able to access it. That way, all of the horrible stuff she's done, learned and noted down in that book, will never be accessible by anyone ever again. Thus, hopefully, preventing any of this from ever happening again, though we know that's just never going to be the case. So our next objective is the medical wing. And I don't know where that is, so we have to actually go here, look at Dr. Holder. Wants me to search the lower level of medical. That's where those hard to kill guys are, too. It should be in a sealed canister, though. Wait, I do remember there being a door that needed a key to pass through. And it is definitely down there with the guys with the gas masks that are harder to kill. Though they'll be a lot easier to deal with now that we have that particular skill that makes us do more damage to infected targets. To be in a sealed canister. What he wants is not the serum, though. Interesting. So this and the serum are two different things. I want them both now. And then we'll play along with Dr. Holder to see where that goes. Until I hate the shape of what he's doing. And you can just follow everyone else into the light. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Okay. So I need to at least... Oh, wait. Medical is going to be over there where all of the outlaws are. Which is fine. I've got plenty of ammo. I would rather change out my rifle, but at the same time, maybe not. I'll hold on to it for a little while longer. I haven't really used guns that much. We can look at the things over here to see where medical is. It's this way.
Well, heard something out there.
Stay alert, stay alive.
Thank goodness they don't look down. Let's see what we're looking at here. Turrets disabled. Is that my fault? No, surely not. We came in through an entirely different side. Robotics, Slatendale, medical, skeletal. We came in through Casterfell. Oh. I think I did do this. Surely not, right? So, I'm going to have to make you a corpse. I'm sorry, I don't like to kill. I definitely don't. Why is... There we go. I'm sorry, I can't turn it... By the way, I learned that was a thing. Guys, there used to be outlaws up here. And then they all just sort of... Or they just were blocked from my X-ray vision.
Target lost. Recalibrating.
Strange. I mean, it definitely looked like they just winked out of existence, didn't it? There's another one.
Target lost. Recalibrating.
I'm trying to figure out why I lost sight of them. Two of them. Oh, he just bullet train to heaven. Well, nah, screw it. I don't care. I'll let God sort it out. And he just stood there, huh? Smart man. Let's make absolutely sure. I really hate. Maybe it's because the game prioritizes the thing in front of you as being interactable. Because when I look away from it and I can't interact with it, I can see through it, but otherwise not. That's still stupid and it really shouldn't work like that. Anyway. This loot is my loot. Presuming there's anything of value here in the first place. Oh. Daddy like. I am tempted. Yeah, as soon as... That's definitely the way I came in. So they definitely moved in as soon as they could after I turned that turret off. I'm also tempted to try to clear out these guys, but they're a lot more dangerous. Not as smart as the outlaws for sure, but it's not a high bar. I could lure them to around this corner. Anyway, we were headed to medical. Oh, now you just give me the flashlight, even though this thing is right here. And yeah, I realized this was a thing sometime after ending, I don't know what episode it was. It might have been the episode before last when I was complaining about not being able to just have a pop-up menu where I can switch between these things on the fly, as I will. Instead of having to come into this menu, putting myself at risk. What's that? It's Village Woods Medical. Well, crap. Yeah, that's definitely a way through. There was no more direct route. Thankfully, the boom plants don't respawn. Those are the outlaws. I mean, I have a bow, so I could. I don't have it equipped. I don't think I could make that shot. The outline is not clear. I guess we'll try the arrow. Put it there. There. was. An educated guess at best, luck at worst. Well, they do have ammo, and I am sure they both had rifles, right? Yeah. How to go about this? I can instantly kill her and risk getting shot by him at point blank range, or I can kick her. What the actual... What the... Am I the only... What was that sound? I have never heard that sound before. What the frick was that? Perfect. No interference. All right. And I'm pretty sure that's the door to medical, right? All right. It's fine. The electricity just took a little off the top, that's all. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us today. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back the day after tomorrow with yet another episode of... Yeah, I don't have anything clever to go with, so it'll just be another episode of whatever it gets, whatever it turns out to be, really. Don't worry about Mother Jago. She's getting hers too. I was rather surprised, to be honest, that Tanner was fine with simply never getting the goddamn data. That's the word I was looking for. But even if I were to do the radio tower stuff, I wouldn't get anywhere without giving it to her, and she was never going to get it after what she said. I'm not petty. I'm just unreasonable. And I am only ever unreasonable as a response to other people being unreasonable. Let that be a lesson to... Well, there aren't any other NPCs. Aside from the traders, and none of them are relevant. There is the one woman in the journalist in the DLC, but she's irrelevant. I don't care about her. I'm not helping her. She's going to stay out there and die alone. And I'm okay with that. I'll probably consider, depending on what goes on with Holden, we'll see about Gene Hammer, the outlaw leader, back in the DLC. But it doesn't look too good for her as far as my cooperating with her. But, as I said, we'll see how things play out, and maybe we'll entertain her quest line for a bit. And so, with all that said, we will see you next time.